We live in a time that is obsessed with control, not in a loud way, but quietly, neatly, efficiently. We plan, we measure, we optimize, and that feels reasonable, even responsible. When we talk about control, we usually don't mean power. We don't mean domination. We mean something else. Predictability, clarity, control over how things feel. Control isn't aggressive, it's reassuring. Control does something very specific. It reduces uncertainty, it dampens anxiety, it creates temporary calm. And to be clear, control is not wrong. Without control, there is no structure, no agreements, no functioning society. So, control works up to a point anyway, but at some point something shifts. Control stops being a tool and, it becomes the goal. We start managing our lives instead of actually living them. Work, it becomes optimization. Free time, that just turns into recovery. And, identity becomes a project. Everything functions. Yet somehow something feels empty. Here's the paradox. The more controlled life becomes, the less meaning we seem to experience. Not because meaning disappears, but because control, it just pushes it aside. Meaning cannot be forced. It can't be planned. It can't be measured. Control asks something subtle from us. It asks us to trade uncertainty for predictability. And often we don't even notice what we give up in return. Surprise, play, openness, meaning needs space, and space does not tolerate total control, meaning rarely feels comfortable. There's no dashboard, no clear outcome, no guarantee. You don't know where it's going while you're inside it. That's why meaning often feels messy, incomplete, uncertain, and honestly, that's exactly why we avoid it. Busyness isn't always ambition. Often it's protection. Being busy keeps questions at a distance. Questions like, what am I actually doing? Why does this feel so empty? Control keeps those questions quiet for a while. Beneath control, there's often fear. Nothing pathological, nothing dramatic. Just human. There's this fear of getting lost, and fear of not knowing who you are without your structures. Control is really just fear wearing a tidy suit. We often think freedom means having everything under control. But freedom isn't maximum control. Freedom is the capacity to tolerate uncertainty without immediately trying to fix it. Meaning rarely appears in plans. It appears in attention, in involvement, in presence. Often we recognize it only afterward, not because it wasn't there before, but because we were too busy trying to manage the experience. This isn't a call to let go of control. It's not a plea for chaos. It's not advice. Just a question that can remain open. What are you trying to control? And what might that be costing you? You don't need to answer that now. Sometimes it's enough to let the question exist